But what would happen to Kenny the next day at the food tour, none of us saw coming. And it led to violence. Look, it's me, M3, but you already know. Yo, it's me, M3, but you already know. If you haven't seen the previous video of my Africa trip, I advise you to see that one before you see this one. So we chilled for a little bit and went on a tour the same day of the sea urchin accident. We all got on a boat and went to a place called Prison Island. It was used for a prison for rebellious slaves back in the 1860s for a short period. Then it was used for a quarantine for yellow fever. There were tortoises that was there. That was a gift from the British governor. And it started off with 4, and then it became a whole lot more. And to this day, there's still, that was 1919. So to this day, there's still a whole lot of tortoises there. And they can't swim, so they can't leave the island. So they're really stuck there. So we went there, we fed the tortoises, seen some peacocks. And the people there was so happy to see the tortoises hump for some reason. So after all that, we made it back to the resort. Halima wasn't feeling that well, but it was still kind of early, so me, Chris, and Ken decided to go on another adventure, and this is how that turned out. So Ken booked the food tour in Stonetown. Stonetown is exactly how it sounds. It's buildings made of the coral there, so it's like stone. It's basically a town made of stone. And it's all these buildings and stuff, and the way they're structured, it's like a maze. Like all the alleyways that it creates, it's a maze back there, and there's like people selling goods. There's markets back there. There's people living back there, I'm sure. And there's like a whole town in between the stones. So hence the name Stonetown. If you go in one way and don't know what you're doing, you'll never come back out that same way. Anyway, we started our tour and went to a market where they had produce. So the first thing we tried was grilled corn. It was like corn on a cob, but with no juice, dry, and just crunchy. Crunchy corn. That's what it was. Like corn kernels, but it wasn't the kernels. It was actual corn. I didn't like it. Ken killed his. I didn't like it at all. They had other fruits that's native to Zanzibar, and they were pretty much all good, except for one. They looked like grapes, but they had big seeds in the middle. They told us, yeah, it's like grapes. But if you bite into one of these, or even have one of the juices hit your mouth, somehow your whole mouth will dry out. Feel like sandpaper. Like, I don't know who ate those or why would you want to eat those, but it just dries your mouth out like instantly. It's crazy. Now, as we continue to walk, keep in mind this is Africa, so there's black people everywhere. We kept seeing people that look like other people. Like, we saw a fake D-Rose, we saw a fake Dwayne Wade, a fake Jimmy Butler, a fake Morgan Freeman. We even saw a fake Pharrell. Dude looked just like Pharrell. And it's like, those can actually be our family. Like, it's crazy to think. Anyways, we walked through the spice market. Derrick Rose. Do look like Derrick Rose.
Yeah, welcome, please.
Whatever you needed was right there. You need some clothes, you can find some fake Gucci, you can find some fake Louis, you can find whatever you needed. If you needed some shoes real quick, if you needed some clothes, you needed some food, everything you needed was right there. Everybody was either focused, walking around trying to get their goods and leave, or joking and having a good time. And it was nice to see. So we went to a place where they had cooked food next. They all had different type of fish and seafood there. But me, I don't eat seafood, so I ain't eat a whole lot. The best thing we tried was the Zanzibar pizza. It was kind of like a regular pizza, but it was like soft dough. Then it was like a pizza, and then it was more soft dough. So it was like a sandwich kind of, but all the dough was like really really soft, and the pizza was inside the dough. It was amazing. It was amazing. And then our tour guide went to a man that was selling a drink. Ken decided he wanted to try it, and everything went downhill from there. So this drink was a mix of nuts, bananas, almonds, like all that type of stuff blended all together. Topped off with nutmeg, and it was just like, it was too much for me. I don't like nuts anyway. So I tried it because that's what we were on the tour for, but I didn't eat a whole lot. I ate a little bit of it, and they convinced us to get it because the tour guide and the guy that was selling it kept saying, "Oh, it'll help you with the jiggy jiggy." He said, when your wife, you go home to your wife, you eat some of this, it help you with the jiggy jiggy. And they kept saying it over and over. I'm like, you damn, some freaks. That's what they was, some freaks. Anyways, I tried a little bit of it. It wasn't bad. It just not my thing. I don't like nuts. Chris was allergic to bananas, so he didn't eat any. But Ken killed his whole cup. We'll come back to that in a minute. Alright, so we grabbed our pizza because it was done being made and went back through Stone Town. We was going through the last part of the tour at this point. So our tour guide wanted us to try the last thing on the menu, which was Zanzibar mix. Now the Zanzibar mix was pretty much a lot of the things we tried, like the meats and the vegetables that we already tried, into a soup. And it was getting kind of late, so a lot of the shops were closed. But we finally went to the pier, and we found someone that was making Zanzibar mix. Now when we got to the pier, it was a bunch of kids lined up on the pier, and a bunch more kids running and jumping off the pier into the water. They knew we was tourists because I had a red shirt on like an idiot and some red shoes. So they knew it was tourists. They called us over there to watch them jump off the pier and flip. It was really nice watching them jump off the pier. I would have did it too, but you know, I had on red shoes and I didn't want to get wet, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to show out in front of the kids either, you know what I'm saying? Let them have their fun, you know what I'm saying? So Sea Urchin even got to play with a monkey, which was nice. So we sat down on this stone bench facing the pier to watch the kids still. And a tour guide finally came with the Zanzibar mix. Okay, so it was me on one end, Chris was in the middle, and Ken was on the opposite end of me. So we got our food and we started to eat. It was really good. It was really good. All of a sudden, I heard somebody yell. Then I felt a splash of soup, like on my arm. So I looked down. I figure Ken probably dropped it or somebody knocked it out of his hand or something. And it was like an accident or something, because, you know, that's what I was thinking. So I looked down. By the time I looked up, I seen an old homeless man standing there staring at Ken. And everybody was perfectly still, like it was a movie. I don't remember how the guy looked though. I mean, he had a Questlove nappy fro. He maybe had facial hair, but I don't really remember. He could have had a little pencil mustache, a full goatee with sideburns. I mean, he could have had the Leatherman handlebars from the Village People. Man, he could have had the Benny Siegel nappy beard for all I know. It happened so fast. So I stand up. I'm still confused at what happened. But I looked at Ken, and his whole soup was in his face. His glasses flew off in Narnia somewhere. Yeah, I didn't even know where they were. So what happened was this old man was upset or had mental issues or something and slapped Ken's food right into his face. Ken thought he was being robbed, but it was just an old man slapping his food into his face. When that happened, even the kids that were jumping off the pier stopped in midair, rewinded time, and ran over to us. So when I looked up and seen the homeless man standing there looking at Ken, the next second, one of the kids came over there and slapped the guy so hard, and then 4 or 5 other kids immediately started beating him up. I felt bad for the man, but that's what happened. I looked back at the man, and the kids had chased him way down the street already. Everybody around us was so nice though. They had gave us like free food. The kids kept apologizing. They came back, gave us handshakes, you know what I'm saying? They kept apologizing because I guess, because they knew we was tourists, so they didn't want us to go back and explain this story as if you come there, they'll get beat up by old homeless people or something. They wanted the reputation to be good. It's a beautiful place, and I recommend everyone take a trip to Africa at least once in their lifetime. So Ken got cleaned off the best he could, and our food tour was over. I took from then to this day to tell everybody that Ken got slapped by an old homeless man in Africa. As we finished our tour, we got on the taxi. Our tour guide also had to use that taxi to get dropped off somewhere, which is awkward because our tour guide didn't do nothing to help. He just stood there in the background watching, which was kind of messed up. But what was he gonna do about it? The kids was on it, and he kept apologizing the whole time. Even afterwards, Ken texted him and he apologized again. But it wasn't his fault. It was not like it was planned. Oh yeah, that drink destroyed Ken's stomach, and he was on the toilet every 20 minutes for the rest of the trip. I know the story may seem unbelievable, but like the late great Charlie Murphy once said,
Make up that.
but don't think our trip was all pain and suffering. Dinner in Dar es Salaam on the second day was a very interesting time, and it was hilarious.